everyone, I'm Philip Duncan. Thank you for joining us. I've got that song, It's Beginning to Feel a Lot Like Christmas, stuck in my head today, and it's because we've got this wintry southerly in the South Island that's dumped snow in some areas. Some farms have had some snow, it's gone that low down. It is short-lived, but it's a little bit of a shock to the system for some of you in the south at the moment. Single-digit temperatures on Friday morning. We're just a little bit further up the road in Canterbury into the 20s. So that's the difference between the warmer nor'westers before that cold change. So this map you're looking at here is actually for Friday evening, and what it shows, a little bit hard to see, but what it shows is that cooler change moving up the country, darker greens along that western side, but out here in the east and the very north, you've still got a bit of orange showing up. It's still going to be warm right through to the end of Friday. So let's take a look at the snow map in December, in the second week of December. Now, by the way, it has snowed in New Zealand on Christmas Day around the hills of Queenstown and New Year's Eve as well. Not in the town, but around it in the last couple of decades. So we don't always have the warmest, most settled December. It can be a little cold sometimes, and some years we end up with the opposite. We have a lot of tropical winds coming down, but this year, as we've been talking about at Weather Watch a lot lately, the Southern Ocean is particularly stormy. So seeing a snow map like that, where the areas in pink are showing 15 to 20 centimetres of snow, maybe getting up towards 25 along the mountains. And we said the other day there'd be some snow, but I think it's this snow down here in sort of the lower levels of Southland and northern Southland and some parts of inland Otago where we are seeing a few low-level snow flurries. Look at the temperatures. This is Friday's departure from normal. You can see that southerly coming through into Southland in that area there in the pale blues. You're basically 1 or 2 degrees, maybe 3 degrees below where you should be. Areas in the North Island, this corner down here, bang on average. Everybody else to the north has a warmer than average Friday afternoon, as does Christchurch, just on the edge of it, only by about a degree or so. So that's Friday. Let's go to Saturday. What a difference. So the North Island, switcheroo now. You got colder than average weather in the southern part, and in the north, you're about average. Temperatures are about normal for this time of the year, which is quite interesting. You know, we often say, oh, this is a big cold wintry change, but actually what it's doing is resetting temperatures back to normal in a large part of the country. Wherever you can see the green satellite map through here, that's normal temperatures, and it warms back up in the areas that have had snow today. They are warming back up by 4 to 8 degrees above average on Saturday. That's because warmer winds are coming back. Now here is the setup for Saturday. It's these winds here going around this high that are pushing into the South Island. So it's a windy Saturday in a number of areas around New Zealand as those sou'westers come through. Inland parts of the South Island, where it's calm, has the potential of a frost tonight. Now, it's not likely in the main centres, but take a look at the below zero frost map. You can see it under maps and radars on the Weather Watch website, and that will show you the frost risks. There's also at ruralweather.co.nz the frost forecaster that will tell you if you've got a frost or possible frost on the way at all the locations around New Zealand. So Saturday's a bit windy. We've got showers moving into the North Island, but that high is getting closer to us. By Sunday, the high is moving in more towards New Zealand. Our wind flow, southerly quarters. So there'll be southeasterlies for some of you down here around Southland and Otago, more southwest further to the north of New Zealand as that big high moves in. We talked about this stormy system yesterday coming in for Brisbane, gale force winds, heavy rain, big seas as that low moves through. And up here, that is the area where we expect will form into a tropical cyclone. It's looking now like it'll happen next week, maybe not this weekend. Now the Fiji Met Service is also giving this a high risk of forming into a cyclone. So as we take a look at Monday next week, we've got a lot of low pressure on this map. You know, a couple of weeks ago I said it doesn't look anything like La Nina. This does. You've got a tropical low, possible cyclone, another low down here in Brisbane, and all of these rainmakers in the tropics coming down into parts of Aussie. So certainly is messy on the map to the north, but for us, mostly settled with high pressure. And that high pressure expands on Tuesday. The whole country, settled dry weather. That's really the theme for next week in New Zealand, thanks to that high. The storm up here deepening further, as is this one, moving away though from land. That one will be moving away from Rarotonga, drifting down towards the Southern Ocean gradually. And next Wednesday, you can see that storm, very small one, moving away out into open oceans. This storm up here, slow to get going. It seems slower than the modeling was suggesting. That's because of this high. We've been talking about this before. This high here will control where that storm is likely to go. Now we think as that high moves away to the east, there is a better chance for that system to come down here following that rain and end up coming down and towards the New Zealand area. Now, I don't really like doing these long range maps because you can lock them in thinking that they're happening. And there is a chance that this storm could completely miss New Zealand. There's actually a greater chance of that happening than it hitting us. But this is the map here for Christmas Eve. And it does look a little stormy if this cyclone comes in. It looks very much like what Cyclone Gita did. Now, I'm not saying it's going to repeat itself. I'm certainly not locking this in. It's a long way out, and the modeling might end up picking it going out here, not affecting anyone. It might even hold it north of New Zealand. If that high over us stays stuck over us instead of moving out this way, then that could also stop it from coming down. But this isn't the first time I've seen this, and I'm sure some of you who are looking at the long-range models have also noticed it. So we thought we should share it with you that Christmas Eve in New Zealand might be a little interesting, but this is not yet locked in. We will continue to update you with the facts that we've got at the time over the next week or so. So there's no hurry yet. This is still a couple of weeks away, but well worth keeping an eye on. That is all from me. Have yourselves a great weekend. Enjoy the Christmas shopping, and we'll see you on Monday.